Just moments ago, all 7 billion people on Earth simultaneously perished. However, a diver who had been submerged underwater miraculously survived the catastrophe. As he removed his breathing apparatus, he immediately sensed that something was amiss. He quickly put the breathing gear back on, and everything seemed to return to normal. Initially, he suspected that his body hadn't adjusted after being underwater for an extended period, so he decided to remove the breathing apparatus once more. This time, he could distinctly feel the inability to breathe, as if all the oxygen in the air had vanished in an instant. Moreover, animal carcasses littered the streets, and the once bustling world was now eerily silent. It wasn't until he saw the corpse of a woman inside a car that the gravity of the situation truly hit him. With only a few oxygen tanks remaining, Adam pressed on. Before long, he discovered a house and cautiously pushed open the door. Inside, he finally encountered another living person besides himself. Adam gestured to the woman, indicating that he meant no harm. Due to the absence of oxygen, sound could no longer travel through the air, so they could only communicate using sign language. Adam extended his hand, inviting the woman to come with him. Despite her mother's lifeless body in her arms, she ultimately chose to leave with Adam. Before departing, they loaded the remaining oxygen tanks onto a small cart. Together, they drove the cart through the apocalyptic world, searching for hope and survivors. Along the way, the city streets were strewn with corpses. The pair arrived at a supermarket to seek supplies. Noticing a telephone at the checkout counter, the woman hesitantly picked up the receiver and dialed the emergency number. She desperately hoped to hear a voice on the other end, but only a ringing tone echoed throughout the store. They received no response. Clinging to a glimmer of hope, they made their way to a hillside. The woman activated a distress alarm she was holding, while Adam launched a signal flare. As the smoke dissipated, their hope turned to despair. By this point, their oxygen supply was nearly depleted. Just as they were preparing to face their impending death, a firework suddenly burst in the distant sky. They looked at each other, their hearts filled with inexpressible excitement. Following the direction of the firework, they drove to a suburban villa. Music filled the room, but the person listening to it had long since lost their spark of life. The last shred of hope vanished completely. The two danced one final dance to the music. As the dance concluded, the oxygen in Adam's tank was about to run out. Without hesitation, he switched to the woman's remaining oxygen tank. At that moment, the woman realized her own oxygen supply was also nearing depletion. She pointed at Adam, indicating her predicament, but he signaled that he had no solution. With only one oxygen tank left, neither wanted to be the first to descend into hell. In that instant, their friendship shattered. In a desperate struggle to survive a little longer, they started fighting. During the scuffle, a wall decoration fell to the ground, but they failed to notice the oxygen tube tangling around their feet. As they tripped and fell, Adam's face contorted in agony. The antlers had pierced through his body.